Hey friends, this is Dr. Heather Carden coming to you live from my kitchen where Sailor and Isaac just hit the high note. They want to eat the food, but they don't want to be on the live. So anyway, I am coming to you live from Overland Park, Kansas, where we are celebrating the Big Chiefs win, so go Red. Somebody said, we need more cooking videos. So I'm gonna actually make some super easy dinner that we're gonna have tonight, which is Chipotle chicken. And I'll tell you how I make the spices, but right now, we are just gonna put some Chipotle spice on here. I'll go over how I make that. I have chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Yes, you can absolutely leave the skin on them. You can left the bones on there. So a lot of times in the summertime, and I'm just throwing the spice on there, I'm gonna stir it up. And then I've got a little bacon fat in a skillet over here, and I just kind of sear them a little bit. I'm gonna throw in the oven and let them cook their thighs so they cook super quick, the bones out. So then we will either eat them whole, but tonight we're gonna make like a homemade chicken bowl. So Chipotle bowl if you wanna say that. So I'm mixing up all the spices. A lot of times I do buy a pre-made spice. Tonight I didn't have the pre-made spice. When Dr. Ralph went to the store at lunchtime, I did not put it on the list. So you can see it's getting all that nice flavor on it. So I cook it at a pretty high heat. I'm gonna turn it up to 5 or 6. I will go over what's in the spices here, but let me know what you guys are having for dinner. We are getting ready to kick off our 10-day keto kickstart reset tomorrow. Every Wednesday I do an OMED, which is a 24-hour fast. It means one meal a day. So I'll do dinner to dinner between today and tomorrow. We'll still do our 10-day kickstart. You can see, I'll use my tongs here. I still have not mastered the video camera up above. It's nice and covered. Then I'm gonna put them right in my pan over here. So it's nice and covered. Not all of it is nice and covered. Nice and covered here. I'm gonna put it in my pan so it gets seared. And then what I like to do is just get it nice and seared. And then I just gonna finish it off in the oven so it doesn't get too dry. And then I chop it in little cubes, just like when you go to Chipotle. You can absolutely leave it whole and just have a chicken breast and wrap it in a in a lettuce leaf or a cabbage leaf. Again, we're doing like a Chipotle bowl tonight. I'll go over what spices I have in there. So the kids just said, I've got to be at school at 5:30, which is an hour, so you can definitely make this in less than that. So I'll get there 5 or 6 pieces of thighs. Again, I wash them. I leave the fat chunks on there because that's where the flavor comes from. In the 80s, we didn't leave the fat on there. Now we know in 2020, we leave the fat on there. That's where the flavor comes from. So when my dad was butchering back in the day, we used to get the big red tub of lard. We'd get the cow, we'd get the pig back, and we have this big, huge thing, 25 pounds of lard that we would actually have in the refrigerator at all times to cook in. Now we just kind of save the bacon fat, or if we do some bone broth, we kind of save the fat there. So it looks like I have all this in the pan. I'll show you what my pan looks like. Looks like this, so it's nice and full. I'm cooking that on a 5 or 6, so nice high seared, nice high heat. What I put in my Chipotle spices, I put some oregano, I put some chili powder, I put 2 different kinds of chili powder, I put some paprika, I put some coriander, and I put a ground red cayenne pepper to give a nice slow flavor in there. And then I also put like a little Chipotle sauce on there. A couple of my people in my family like it super hot. Some don't like it super hot. So I kind of mix it up and put a medium type of Chipotle sauce in there. You can also do a nice little dip if you want to like it crunchier. I could have added my pork rinds in there so you have more like a paste. You could have dipped it in egg and then mix the pork rinds or the pork panko in with the Chipotle spice. You had a nice crunch on it. But my kids actually don't like the crunch in there. I use a panko if I'm going to make like a chicken or actually fry fish or turkey on there. So how do we top it off? This is going to cook again 10 or 15 minutes. I'll throw it on the end of the oven to polish it off. I've been out of town, so we're being super on the go. Not super lazy, just super on the go, not dirty. Cauliflower rice, so that'll be easy to do. I'm going to do that right now as soon as we get off. I actually bought some pre-shredded lettuce. I love to have cabbage, so I got some cabbage, some purple and yellow cabbage. And then again, we've got 3 teenagers in the house, and we've also got a guest for dinner tonight, so low-carb tortillas. If you look at the macros, they are 14 grams. When you look at children or young men and you're saying, you know what, they're not strictly keto, they are low-carb and clean, and that's really what we focus on in our house is eating clean, real food, eating organic when possible. We buy local raised chicken, local raised beef. I think that's one of the most important things we can do for our kiddos is buying a local protein. I know Frank could do a whole dissertation here on buying local. And again, we buy the Dirty Dozen organic when we can. You can look that up on Dr. Google, the Dirty Dozen. So buy organic when you can, especially on the fruits and vegetables. If you buy fruits, which we don't, and then on the meats as well. So spices, we always buy those organic, and just, you don't use to go through them very quickly. So just leave them in the freezer. It's the best way of saying pause, or it's nature's way of saying pause. So these are already be turned over. So then I could start my cauliflower crumbles for my rice. If you want to do beans as well, if you're just low carb, beans are heart healthy. They're great on fiber if you need them. Again, my sons are 6'6", 6 foot something, almost 6 foot. My husband, again, they can do 50, 60 grams of carbs and still be in keto. But if you're joining us, let us know where you're joining me from. If you've got a favorite dish you'd like to know, let me know. But again, I do a 1-day, 24-hour fast a week. Generally, I pick Wednesdays and Thursdays because I work in the office and I have physical and OT therapy on Thursday. So I'm pretty busy, which is great because then I get through my glucose and glycogen and kind of burn through all of that, which is great for recycling and get my human growth hormone nice and high. It keeps me busy. Tonight I'm going to go to hot yoga at 7 and do a restorative class at 8:15 so I calm down my mind. So distraction is good, burning through that. And then OMED means 1 meal every day. So that means eating in a 23 hour. So it doesn't mean you eat in 10 minutes. It means you really want to consume in over an hour's an hour. So I'm getting messages because they come in. You really want to eat in a 45-minute setting, if that makes sense. You don't want to eat in 10 minutes because people are like, well, how do you go 24 hours to 24 hours? It's really a 23-1, which means I'm going to eat probably here at 5. So tomorrow night it'll probably be 6, if that makes sense. Because I'll go that whole 24 hours because by the time we eat and get this prepped, and then I'll go to yoga tonight and get a hot yoga because I want to make sure I sweat and detox, and then follow with a restorative session, which is just 45 minutes. Calm down my nervous system. That way I get a good night's sleep, and then my cortisol can reset and recycle. And then that 24 hours is where you increase that human growth hormone. I do it once a week. It just works best for me. And then one time a month, I do about 72 hours, 60 plus 72 hours. Just depends on how I feel. When my body says wake up and eat, after that 60-some, 70 hours, that's when I do that. So I will do still some tea. I will do some exogenous ketones. I'm flipping over the chicken as we're talking. So again, I just cook this on pretty high heat to sear in those amazing flavors. And we could sit here and talk for 20 minutes on the amazing benefits of what these herbs have, what coriander has, what garlic has, you know, what some of these benefits that these natural herbs have. Because you look at the original apothecaries, they use herbs as original pharmaceutics. So you want to use natural herbs to coat things. People often think that when you're eating keto low carb, it's boring, it's boring, it gets boring all the time. No, it has amazing flavor. So again, what you could do in your Chipotle bowl is you can add olives, which is a fat, you can have pork rinds, which is a fat, you can have avocado, which is a fat, you know, our chicken thighs have some fat on it. So you can get lots of healthy fats. And again, you want to just smother with a couple cups of vegetables. I love to have cabbage on my Chipotle bowl. Again, you could do this with fish, whether it's whitefish, cod, halibut. You could do it with shrimp if you wanted to, lobster, things like that. You could do this with pork, or you could do it with beef. You could do it where we get our chicken. You can also buy cow tongue. You can buy cow heads, so cabeza de tacos, you could do that as well. So those are almost done. So I'm going to pop off here, and then I'll again put the recipe up above. It's that super simple, guys. So let me know what you'll be cooking in your house tonight. Let me know if you've got a recipe you want to share. We are kicking off our 10-day tomorrow. If you want to join us, let me know. Our next one will be on the 20th. Again, we found with 10 days, we do a layered style of learning. So we go through this OMED. We talk about fasting. We talk about why you don't want to snack, why you don't need to have fat bombs in your life unless you're just really struggling, why you need to drink water, why you need to let your insides or your intestines rest, why it's important to eat whole, real food, not toxic processed food. It's better not to eat than eat processed toxic food. Why we're bombarded with all these keto packaged foods that are actually worse than what we started with. So I'm super happy and thrilled that keto has gotten the notoriety that it does. But I also know it's confusing just a ton of people. But Jennifer, thank you for your kind words. I want to thank everybody for joining me, but please hit the share button. This is absolutely meant to be shared. All of my past lives are actually over on my YouTube channel, and they are on a playlist. So whether it's keto, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's some keto cooking stuff, whether it's about hormones or adrenals or thyroid, hair loss, things like that, it all should be on a playlist. They're not fancy. I didn't do any little video things before, but they are on a playlist to help you better understand. There's 40 videos on fasting, intermittent fasting, dry fasting, water-only fasting, what the big difference is. A 12-hour fast is actually called a strong fast. You're doing amazing things just letting your body go 12 hours. That's why we tell people just cut it off at 6 and go to 6. You can still get amazing benefits from simply just doing that. Majority of the people actually get all the calories they need by 6 p.m. 75% of people in the world today are already metabolic resistance or insulin resistance. 75%, super scary. 50% of the people are already diabetic or pre-diabetic. Scary. Let's change the numbers. Let's do it together. So if you want to join me on this mission, which is changing the world and help everyone be better today than they were yesterday, give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts, throw it there. Again, I'm going to get off and I'm going to finish my chicken Chipotle as the kiddos come back, and you guys have an amazing day. Again, please feel free to share any of my videos. I want to lead with education. Sorry, I'm talking too fast, obviously. My dog was barking before, so now I'm talking fast so she doesn't bark. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. I'll be seeing you soon. Share something from your keto kitchen to mine, your low carb kitchen to mine. I'd love to know what you're having. Drop a picture down below. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll be seeing you soon.